It's Wednesday, March 25th, 2026, and I wasn't going to make a video today, but we do have an elevated tornado chance tomorrow. This heat wave is looking intense that we have ahead, and the severe weather in the beginning of April could end up being pretty significant. We could have a few days of severe weather back to back to back. So I wanted to give you guys a quick update. Now, really quickly, we'll start here taking a look at the live radar. There's not much going on. It's pretty quiet. Some showers moving through portions of the Pacific Northwest, through Idaho, Montana, the Dakotas, and then the UP of Michigan. But overall, it's pretty quiet. So I wanted to get into our outlooks. We'll talk about this severe weather in a second, but we'll start with the temperatures. And as you can see, our 6 to 10 day forecast, it's going to be hot. We've been talking about this. 8 to 14 day, it's going to be hot. Now in the short term, and I'll go over this in a second, we're still going to see some cold air out east, really east of the Mississippi. I mean, I would say from the plains and east. Cold air, cold air, kind of that spring back and forth, push and pull. And then we're going to get a sustained heat as we move into April. It does look like that heat's going to stick around for a little bit, so it'll stop confusing everyone. Now, really quickly, I also want to take a look at the Weather Prediction Center precipitation forecast. Here you go. Next 48 hours, not much precipitation for anyone except for through portions of the Midwest and then up there through New England. This green here, we're talking a 30th of an inch. So really until you get into the blues and purples on this map, that's when it starts to get somewhat significant, but pretty quiet. Giving out to 3 days, 5 days, kind of same thing. Not a lot of rainfall for the states. Really just, like I said, we're looking at Illinois out through West Virginia, up through PA, and then through inner New England. So overall pretty quiet. Let's quickly take a look at our categorical outlook for tomorrow. Large marginal risk stretches from central Missouri all the way up basically to Buffalo, New York, down through portions of central to northern Kentucky, West Virginia, central to southern Michigan. So that's that 1 out of 5 risk. And then you have that 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather stretching across portions of Illinois, Indiana. You can see here, northwestern, really central to northwestern Ohio, and then southern Michigan. Now we can break this down a little bit more today. Here's our tornado risk. So that's a large 2%. The green is a large 2% risk for tornadoes. What that means is from any point in this green shaded area, there is a 2% chance there could be a tornado within 25 miles of you tomorrow. This brown area, it's 5%. So still a very low chance, but of course, if there's even a chance of there being a tornado in your area, you have to make sure you're aware, you stay weather aware, you have your alerts on. This is also a SIG 1. The hatch marks here are basically just telling us if we do get a tornado touchdown, it could be a significant tornado, meaning we could see a tornado up to EF2 strength tomorrow. And again, this could get upgraded tomorrow as well. I don't think it will. I'm not seeing anything too wild. I'm not going to completely go over all the severe weather parameters for tomorrow in this video, but I will tonight when I hop on my live stream. I should be on at around 9 p.m. and we can all break it down together. But that's your tornado risk, as you can see, stretching out from basically Columbia, Jefferson City, Missouri, all the way out to almost Buffalo, New York. You've got Lansing, Flint, Grand Rapids, Pontiac, Detroit. You guys, I mean, Grand Rapids right on the edge. I would count you. Even if you're right outside this 2%, you should stay weather aware. And then all the way down here towards Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, St. Louis, and everyone in between, of course, this 5%, Urbana, Lafayette, Fort Wayne, Toledo, Columbus, Ohio. There's a lot of people in these risk zones here. You can see if we take a look here, the SIG 1, so the chances you could see a significant tornado, we're talking about 42 million people, 5% risk for tornadoes, 23 million. That 2% risk is 19 million. We also have a wind threat with this weather tomorrow, and I think this wind threat might actually be elevated. You can see we've got a 5 to 15% threat for damaging winds, and then we take a look at our hail. Same thing, 5 to 15% threat for hail. And this works the same way as tornadoes. If you're in this yellow, there's a 15% chance there could be hail within 25 miles of your location. We've also got that SIG 1 here, so that these dash marks, meaning we could see hail up to 2-3 inches in diameter. I quickly want to take a look at our 7 to 10 day forecast. Here we go. We're pretty warm across much of the country. And like I said, it's pretty calm right now. But we'll move forward. We still have some moisture streaming into the Pacific Northwest. We've got a storm system trying to drop a little bit of snow into upper New England here. And you can see we're starting to get a little bit of rainfall developing in the Midwest. This is as we're pushing into tomorrow morning. Let's get into tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. You start to see our jet stream collapse a little bit. This is going to bring some colder air into the northern plains, but this is also what's going to trigger our severe weather potential in the Midwest. Why is that? Well, We have cold, dry air sinking in from the north. We have that warm, moist air from the south. We're going to get that baroclinic boundary set up. And we also have a decent jet stream moving through here. So we actually have a very strong low-level jet. I was just looking at it earlier. We'll go over that in a second. The photographs are looking pretty impressive. Definitely a lot of vorticity, so a lot of spin, a lot of rotational wind shear, which is why we have this elevated tornado threat. It could even be upgraded as well. Again, we'll talk about that in our live stream tonight. But the wind shear is pretty significant. The instability isn't quite there. The temperature dew point gradient isn't super impressive, but this could be a situation where we have a high shear, low instability day. So we have to pay attention to this. Again, more details to come tonight, but this is for tomorrow. If you're out here in the Midwest and then pushing out there towards the mid-Atlantic New England, pay attention. Some of these storms could creep off a little bit far to the east. As we get into Friday, that cooler air begins to sink back into the east just in time to ruin everyone's weekend. Kind of kidding. This shouldn't be too bad. It's going to be a little chilly, but it's not, I wouldn't call it an Arctic blast or anything, but you probably don't want to be out at the pool. Here you go, Friday night into Saturday morning. We got that rainfall moving down into the southeast. We're very dry and we are on fire. We are heating up again in the west. Not a break from the heat quite yet. Let's move through Saturday into Sunday, and it's just dry across the entire country. Maybe some storms down in Florida, maybe a little bit up there. You can see upper New England, northern New England, and then the Pacific Northwest. But overall, it's pretty dry across the entire country as we really get into the middle of this weekend and push through the entire weekend. But don't let this fool you. As we get into early next week, we're going to start to get some storm systems developing. Here we go. You can see our jet stream to the north starting to get a little bit of a wobble in it, trying to potentially develop some low pressure systems along that jet stream. And we start to get some storms, some moisture moving through the Great Lakes region. This is as we get into next Tuesday. We start to get some more moisture funneling into the Ohio Valley. This is likely because we have some low pressure systems forming up to the northwest here. We have a high pressure out here to the east. So you've got those winds being funneled in between the two. That instability is going to grow in the Ohio Valley. We also have a storm system moving in off the Pacific. So calm weekend into potentially a pretty active week. Monday might be calm as well, but look what happens when we go into Tuesday, Wednesday. That storm system moves in off of the Pacific. You've still got this high pressure out here directing storms, directing that moisture, that heat into the center of the country. And then you've got some strong lows developing out west. Now, again, this is going to create a funnel, and this is potentially going to create multiple days of severe weather. I said I wasn't sold on this. I'm still not completely, but there's something to this. And we really need to watch, because I do think there is the potential for 4 days at least of severe weather as we get into next week, middle to the end of next week and into next weekend. And by the way, this is some good snow for the high elevations in the Rockies in the beginning of April. So enjoy that, and then some moisture and a cool down for the Southwest as well as we push through next week. So quite a difference. Here we go, though. You can see, and this is just a composite reflectivity, but this would be some severe weather through the plains, through Dixie Alley, up there through the Midwest, and then you continue to see this active pattern back to back to back to back. This would be multiple days of severe weather, potentially even a severe weather outbreak. I'll get into more of these details when we get a little bit closer. I don't want to really do severe weather forecasting when we're talking about something that's 200 plus hours out. It's irresponsible to get into the details on it because we don't know the details on it. There is a possibility, and you're going to be hearing about this if you watch other YouTubers, if you watch meteorologists on the TV, if you're on the weather side of X like I am, people are going to be talking about this setup to kick off April, and there's definitely a real reason for that. So I'm going to continue to pay attention to this and probably start getting into the details as we get into this weekend once we get a little bit closer. Really quickly want to talk about our temperature anomalies over the next 7 to 10 days. Still have some cool anomalies out east. We're baking out west. This warm air is going to move out east. Don't get fooled by this as we get into Thursday, Friday. Here we go, getting into late Friday, Saturday. Another blast of cold air for the east. Like I said, I wouldn't call this an Arctic blast, polar blast, anything like that, but a cold blast. But then as we get into March 30th and April 1st, we're probably going to get some sustained heat. This is what is also going to likely try and trigger, this looks like a triple point, but this is also what's probably going to try and trigger this severe weather across the states. Sharp temperature gradients, sharp dew points. This severe weather setup looks like it could be pretty significant if you're taking a look at the temperature anomalies. And remember, April and May are typically our most active months for severe weather. So this is when things start to really pop off typically. The last thing I wanted to show you is our 850 millibar jet that we have moving across the country tomorrow. I mean, look at this. We're talking about 83 knots, so 95 plus mile per hour winds kicking through Ohio. Now, this is up above the ground. This isn't at the surface, but, you know, these photographs are probably going to look pretty impressive. And you can see right here, I mean, just look at the spin on this photograph. So the tornado risk is real tomorrow. Again, I'm going to get into more of the details tonight on stream, and I'll try to get out tomorrow morning a really kind of good breakdown for you guys on the severe weather tomorrow for portions of the Midwest. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I also run an awesome weather Discord. The link is right down in the description. It's completely free. I swear it's the best weather Discord out there. It is updated every single day with everything from winter weather, severe weather, tropical updates. Everything is in there. You can talk to me. You can ask me questions. I give you updates on when I'm getting on stream and when my videos are going to be posted. All of that stuff. It's just an awesome weather community with almost 700 weather enthusiasts in there. Again, I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video or the next live stream.